Italy's decision to field the Centauro II is best understood not as a narrow procurement choice, but as a strategic statement about how the country intends to fight, deter, and contribute to collective security in the decades ahead. In a European environment reshaped by high-intensity warfare returning to the continent, Rome has opted for a path that prioritizes mobility, scalable firepower, and industrial sustainability over the pursuit of large numbers of heavy armored platforms. This choice reflects geography, budgetary realities, alliance commitments, and a distinctive Italian military culture shaped by expeditionary experience. The Centauro II emerged at a moment when the limitations of legacy-wheeled tank destroyers were becoming increasingly apparent. The original Centauro B-1 had served Italy well since the Cold War, offering speed, reach, and a credible anti-armor capability, but changes in threat environments, sensor saturation, and network-centric warfare demanded a fundamentally new approach. Centauro II therefore represents a generational shift rather than a simple upgrade. Its integration of a 120mm gun on a wheeled 8x8 platform, combined with modern command, control, and situational awareness systems, reflects an effort to balance lethality with deployability. The completion of Italy's plan to procure 150 Centauro II vehicles is a crucial detail. This figure is not arbitrary, nor is it designed to project excess. Instead, it reflects a carefully calibrated scale sufficient to equip and sustain the core of Italy's cavalry and reconnaissance formations, while remaining financially manageable. For Italian planners, the objective was not mass, but consistency. A standardized fleet enables predictable training cycles, efficient logistics, and a high level of readiness without placing disproportionate strain on the defense budget. In this sense, Centauro II fits squarely within a broader philosophy of disciplined modernization. The underlying strategic trade-off is clear. Italy has chosen not to compete with countries that emphasize heavy armored formations designed for prolonged attritional warfare on the Central European plains. Instead, it has doubled down on a force structure optimized for rapid reaction, flexible deployment, and reinforcement missions under the NATO framework. Wheeled fire support vehicles such as Centauro II can move quickly across long distances, deploy with fewer logistical constraints, and operate effectively in Southern Europe, the Balkans, and the Mediterranean region. This aligns closely with Italy's historical operational profile, which has consistently emphasized mobility and adaptability. Cost considerations also play a decisive role, particularly in the context of public opinion. Italian society broadly supports the modernization of the armed forces, especially when framed as a contribution to national security and alliance credibility. At the same time, there is persistent sensitivity to defense spending, especially when social and economic pressures are visible. Centauro II occupies a relatively defensible position in this debate. Compared to heavy main battle tanks, wheeled platforms generally offer lower acquisition costs, reduced maintenance burdens, and greater flexibility in peacetime operations. When paired with a long-term support package, the system can be presented as a rational investment rather than an extravagant one. From a NATO perspective, Centauro II enhances Italy's niche contribution to collective defense. Alliance effectiveness depends not only on raw firepower, but on complementary capabilities. Italy's emphasis on mobile direct fire support allows it to reinforce allies rapidly, operate in complex terrain, and support multinational formations without duplicating capabilities already provided by others. In this way, Centauro II strengthens interoperability while preserving national specialization. it reinforces Italy's reputation as a reliable contributor rather than a symbolic participant. Equally significant is the industrial dimension. The Centauro II program underlines the importance of sustaining domestic defense manufacturing capacity. For Italy, maintaining an advanced armored vehicle design and production capability is not merely a matter of prestige, but of strategic autonomy. The collaboration between Italian industry and the armed forces ensures that design decisions reflect operational realities while preserving high-skilled employment and technological expertise. This industrial base becomes even more valuable when export opportunities arise. The Brazilian order for Centauro II serves as a powerful validation of the platform's relevance beyond Italy. Export success demonstrates that the vehicle addresses a real global demand for mobile firepower platforms capable of operating in diverse environments. For Italian audiences, this has two implications. First, it confirms that domestic procurement choices are grounded in sound engineering and operational logic. Second, exports help amortize development costs and sustain production lines, indirectly benefiting the Italian armed forces through improved supportability and potential cost efficiencies over the system's lifecycle. Public perception in Italy reflects a nuanced balance between confidence and caution. Centauro II does not provoke the same level of controversy as large-scale tank purchases or strategic weapons programs. Instead, it is often perceived as a practical, defensive capability aligned with Italy's responsibilities rather than ambitions. This perception matters because democratic legitimacy underpins long-term defense planning. A system that can be explained clearly in terms of necessity, efficiency, and alliance value is more likely to enjoy enduring political support. Looking toward the period from 2030 to 2035, Centauro II should be seen as a foundational element rather than an endpoint. It complements ongoing modernization efforts across the Italian Army, including upgrades to tracked armor, infantry fighting vehicles, and digital command networks. Together, these programs suggest a coherent vision of a force that is modern, connected, and capable of operating across the full spectrum of missions expected of Italy within NATO and beyond. Ultimately, Centauro II encapsulates a distinctly Italian approach to contemporary land warfare. It favors intelligent trade-offs over maximalist solutions, emphasizes mobility and integration over brute force, and leverages industrial strength to reinforce strategic autonomy. In choosing this path, Italy has not rejected heavy armor, but has placed it within a broader and more flexible framework. The result is a capability that speaks as much to strategic restraint as it does to military effectiveness, and one that positions Italy as a thoughtful and credible actor in an increasingly complex security environment.